of that happening. So I think if you believe in North American talent, if you've been arguing that this should happen more, you should be watching the Dignitas games and paying attention to what Denathor is able to accomplish, because especially against a player like Impact, he's one of the NA GOATs, but been on a bit of a slump. Like, this is an opportunity for Denathor to have a really cool, statement game. We're already in a pick and ban zone, so let's catch up on that. Vi, Nocturne, and Lock banned away from Sentinel's side. Dignitas banned away the Bard, Lee Sin, and Poppy, and Lock in that J4 first.
Yeah, Lock has been permanently locked out of the games so far. Every team has banned him. We have yet to see him make it through to a single pick phase. With the Lee Sin ban and the Jarvan lock, that makes a lot of sense to start the draft for Dig.
That is an adorable little plushie right there, I gotta say. Sentinels fans showing up here at the Riot Games arena as Ezreal's locked in for Sentinels, so it will still be an AD carry for Rahel, assuming it goes bot lane. I would fully expect that. So it does not seem like Sentinels is going to adopt the mages in the bot lane in the future of League. Now, it's not been 100% around the world mages bot lane. We do still see AD carries pop up in drafts.
Correct. It's going to vary from series to series and team to team. So this is, I think, for Sentinels, you should be more comfortable that they're doing this right now, just trying to take care of business and adapting if they need to, as these are very fast picks for Dig as well. And I believe that's going to be a top lane Jayce for Denathor, although we do know it can flex possibly to the bot lane.
Yes, as we just saw in that last series. So the big one that we can highlight, though, already is Orianna plus J4. Classic combo, J4 goes in. Orianna has a clear ball delivery system, 1-2 punch. Now, Ezreal can get out of the Cataclysm, has that mobility, and can even try and dodge away from that engage. So maybe you're looking more at that Nafiri here that was locked in by Sentinels. And, I mean, if you weren't paying attention to the other leagues, you'd say that, nothing's changed in the meta. Sentinels is really leaning back on what's worked for them so far. Tank for the top lane and AD carry for Rahel.
They really want to start out with a win. They're just like, no funny business. We're not going to be going outside of our champion pools. I do feel like every team's going to have a different read on this, because just to speak a little bit about our last series, the Lion versus FlyQuest, like I was very surprised that FlyQuest so heavily all into the mage's bot lane right away with Ziggs into Sylas, and I don't feel like Masu had the same level of performance he had last split on the 80 carries, but here we'll see Sentinels go with a fairly standard opening for themselves. And a pretty standard opening for Dignitas, to be completely honest.
Yeah, true. One thing that I did want to spot from Dignitas, I was hoping that we'd get this, and it seems like we are, is holding top lane pick for later. They can pick it right now because they already see that the Ksante is going to be played for Impact, but I felt that one of the biggest things they need to do with a rookie top laner that's known for carries, get him the counter pick. He has that now, so it's not being banned out either. Sentinels take away the Ziggs, more worried about what else could go into that bot lane. I'm assuming it could be the Jayce top.
Yeah, I believe it'll be the Jayce top into Impact's Ksante, and then FBI can just pick a standard AD carry into the Ezreal as well. Kind of interesting how this whole pick ban phase has been very standard. We were ready for all this craziness, Cassio, Vault. I mean, the Lion series was just such a weird
That was a
expectation
ridiculous
setter.
series. What did Raz say? I don't even remember if he said it live.
He said these are not serious players.
These are not serious players.
Yeah, this is not, well, no, this is not a serious game.
They're
serious players, but it's not a serious game with how many kills were happening.
Very bloody in that last series. We'll see if this one's able to deliver as well, as the Victor is now banned away. So we'll get to learn here soon. The Sentinels will lock in first, but then Dignitas get to show. Is that Jayce just going top lane standard for Denathor, or is it going to go to FBI, and they're giving us some spice in the bottom lane? Sentinels yet to lock in a mid laner. Would expect that here, saving the support counter pick.
Absolutely. DARKWINGS generally excels on control mages. I really did like that Victor ban. I think likely that this Sylas goes mid lane. It has okay ultimates so far with the Orianna and the J4 to be able to steal. It's a winning matchup for the Orianna, but the Sylas can outscale through side lanes.
Okay, but with these hovers, I imagine that is Jayce top, and they're going to go for a mage in the bottom lane. As they were hovering.
They were hovering.
Yeah, and then immediately they lock in the Caitlyn. All right, there we go. It's right back to the tried and true classics here for Dignitas and Sentinels.
Now, do we get the Caitlyn Karma for the lane prior, or do we get the Caitlyn Alistair to maximize the comfort picks and keep IgNar on an engaged champ?
Or, I mean, that could be a little exciting. They're definitely taking their time picking what the optimal choice is. There's still a lot that can really
maximum lane prio,
and there it is.
And bad ults for Sylas.
True.
Yeah, it's a little tricky trying to pick. Like, if you pick Alistar there into a Sylas, you're kind of running it down, even if it might be better for IgNar, but the Karma is not going to be giving the best access to the Sylas.
Interesting draft priority here from Dignitas coming in. It will be Denathor debuting in the LCS, playing Jayce top lane into Impact on a tank. Going up against one of the NA GOATs on one of the NA GOATs comfort picks here. This is going to be a bit of a mountain for Denathor to climb now. As it's not necessarily... Well, I don't know too much about the top lane matchup. Would you say that this is like Jayce can take over this lane and kind of run away with it?
I mean, one of the reasons we see the proliferation of Jayce around the world is because he can win basically every lane matchup if you play it well, but you don't stomp people. You just get small incremental advantages. So are you 200 gold up at 6 minutes, into 400 gold up at 8 minutes, into slowly taking plates and not making mistakes? Because if you do make a mistake in this matchup into the Ksante, and he's able to get ahead of the curve on you in his armor stacking, with the only magic damage being Orianna, you have double physical, or sorry, with the, it's the Ksante can get insane amounts of armor this game very early if you make one mistake on the Jayce.
The junglers,
but we're back in.
There we go, Dignitas versus Sentinels. Thank you for your patience, everybody in the audience and everybody back home. We are back for game number 1, and already an early flash out of huhi and a response from FBI.
Yep, they did the quick little run 3 people bot lane, try and land that first Nautilus hook, end up trading flash for flash support for AD carry, and now DARKWINGS is going to be a little bit late to the wave, but should generally be okay. I'm going to check to see if he loses any minions. They can see him on this ward.
I almost always favor, though.
And he's fine.
Being the Nautilus with the Hex Flash, you know, you're kind of fine anyway. You're just going to be going into the brush, trying to get control there, Hex Flashing out. FBI now is in a much more scary position. Yeah,
it's actually a really good play because the Karma Nautilus want to take bush control really early on in the game, so sending 3 people down there, not only were they able to get the flash, they were also able to clear the ward that got placed, so you can see there's no wards available anymore for Dignitas' bot lane.
And already, big chunk on the IgNar means 1 potion down there, answered back onto huhi, who has not chugged 1 yet. We'll see how that bot lane priority continues. I imagine still the Caitlyn and the Karma, but we heard FBI had some nerves about the upcoming game, so let's take a listen.
Guys, I'm nervous. I feel like my traps are going to look funny.
Don't they look funny when you're not nervous too?
I'm always nervous when I play Caitlyn.
Oh.
I'm 27, bro. Like.
He's 27. Come on, you got to give him a break.
Geez, what's the implication there? The Caitlyn's just like this mechanical god champion. Ooh, another nice hook there by huhi.
Yeah, getting big chunks on the IgNar. Yeah, he said my traps are going to look funny.
Yeah.
First of all, if you're worried about your traps looking funny, just do some shrugs, some like 50-pound dumbbell shrugs. That's going to help out. Second of all, I feel like if anything, it'd be like the net placement that would be the bigger concern, right? Going the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah,
that's a bad one. Did you ever see that TikTok account of One Trap guy?
I have. Yes.
Just only works out one trap.
Have you seen, what was the M. Night Shyamalan movie with the similar concept? The guy only works out half his body? Don't do that. PSA for folks back home. Probably going to cause some issues. Top lane currently going the way of Denathor. And speaking of, let's get to know him a little bit more in case you missed the start of the show. 22-year-old top lane rookie joining us in the LCS, known for his carry top lane picks, and also a couple accolades under his belt in CLOL and playing in Tier 2 NACL. As bot lane 2v2 trades come in, FBI and IgNar back off the worst of it.
Yeah, really interesting counterpunch there from Rahel. The lethal tempo Ezreal scary early on. That was barrier spent by FBI, but here they're going. HamBak's here though!
Well, the root onto IgNar, but now damage back onto huhi. It's first blood to FBI. Traded right back, and it's a double now to HamBak. eXyu cannot get onto the Ezreal, so that will be 3. Sentinels winning the bot lane skirmish.
Perfect timing there from HamBak, and he is rewarded with the double kill. Thankfully does give one over to Rahel at the end, but that whole sequence, if this is actually going to be a 3v3, it's incredibly dangerous for Dignitas and eXyu to go for this because they're already a barrier and a heal down. So they have no way of actually having combat summers for the 3v3. So yes, they get the first blood in, but everyone has already burned flash by that time, so it's very easy for Sentinels to clean up the rest of the fight.
Watching that action, we'll get back to that because top lane now, huhi's walked up. Straight out from base. Denathor probably fine here as Impact's nowhere close. So skirmish for the Scuttle Crab on the top river right now.
Flash on
Darkwings roaming
eXyu.
from mid lane. eXyu's in trouble here in a 1v2. He's taken out. Darkwings with the kill. Now 4-1 in favor of Sentinels.
Yeah, and that's just nice mid-jungle synergy there by HamBak and Darkwings. Palafox unable to support in the river there, and eXyu without his flash, trying to get a little cheeky on that crab. So HamBak finds him and makes things go from bad to worse. The only good thing that's happening for Dignitas so far this game, I feel like, is actually Denathor is doing okay at the start of the lane on Jayce.
Yeah.
Everything else is a little bit on fire.
Look at that. He must have been like a rare card pulled out of that pack right there, because he's got the gold lead right now individually over Impact, but everywhere else on the Rift right now is Sentinels colors. Not by the biggest margins, but still, it counts.
Yeah, and on that note, we'll see how Denathor ends up doing against Impact here, because Impact actually has a long history of being the top laner who gets to face rookies during their debut.
He's the welcome party.
It's a very specific stat. The fact that this has happened 6 times, where these players' first ever LCS games were against Impact, and only Sniper was able to win. That was a Riven game where they came from behind in that game. So we'll see what Denathor is able to do. The rest of his team, the start of this game, just stay focused. Your top lane, maybe you can make something happen.
Shout out to Surdy. I believe I think if I read that right, he was 6-2 in his loss to Impact in his debut. Oof. That's tough. As the flash engage from the bot lane. IgNar locked down by huhi, and with HamBak there for the damage, Rahel can smack him down with huhi getting the kill credit.
Unfortunate that huhi was the one to take that, but you know, unfortunate for everyone but huhi. Supports do actually love gold.
Hey, supports matter, Jatt, okay?
Yeah.
You know what? You say now it's a bad call, but once he has that locket, saves Rahel's life, looks a lot better. Impact in a 1v1 versus Denathor top lane. All out used. Denathor is able to walk it out, though. Flash forward from Impact, looking for the damage, and he gets it! Impact says, welcome to the LCS for the solo kill.
Nicely done there by Impact. Denathor greeting his flash there, really wanted to just be able to reset, knowing that Impact had burned his own flash, but play those games, sometimes you get punished. Couldn't dodge the Q3.
Yeah, exactly. Denathor is going to wish that he had used that flash, as Impact is able to snipe the third Intofo strike, and now suddenly that one bastion of hope for Dignitas in the gold department is gone. It's not out of control yet. Sentinels are only 1.3k ahead overall, but still now it is every single player with a small gold lead for themselves, as the bottom Scuttle Crab will be taken. Let's see if the Dragon is focused here by Sentinels.
Yeah,
he's walking around, not going to go for it.
It is a very concerning start just based off of the team compositions, though. A lot of times when you have Karma, Caitlyn, Orianna, the idea of that team comp is you have Perma-Prio in bot and mid, and then you can be first on objectives and make them walk into you, but they don't have the Prio.
Yeah.
So they have mostly just squishy people that can't walk in, and there's a lot of engage options on the side of Sentinels.
Denathor takes a rough trade in the 1v1 top lane again, as Impact will walk forward, just keep him off of the wave. Third Intofo strike going to be sidestepped, and Denathor's fine. Actually got the wave in. That's very important for the Jayce right now.
Rahel is just kind of left on his own at the moment. As Sentinels just take their resets, it will give eXyu time to take the Drake, so that's a small consolation prize for Dignitas, still being able to get an objective.
They got the priority that time. huhi was on the roam, he went for a reset, and Karma Caitlyn are able to get the bot wave in, so eXyu has a window now. It's on vision because the Scuttle Crab was taken, but Sentinels, they have a couple of people here. They might go for the fight after the Dragon. Smite is secured.
They could slow play this.
They go for the dredge line, lands onto eXyu, level 6. J4's locked down, Cataclysm stolen by Darkwings. The Shockwave is there, but that is eXyu down as Sentinels look for more. It's traded, losing their mid laner for the jungler. Darkwings for eXyu.
Actually, Dignitas is going to be completely fine with that.
Yeah.
The minions will be able to get shoved in mid lane by Palafox as well. Good bit of burst they were able to put back onto Darkwings, and then everybody gets out. So they get the Dragon and a nice 1-for-1 plus the wave, and now they're going to be initiating a swap to send Caitlyn top lane.
Palafox will also get another wave in the mid lane. Let's take another look at that, because the Dragon's secured, but then it's an engage from Sentinels after.
Yeah, I mean, Ezreal cutting through everyone made me really confident in the start, but at the end of the day, like, Rahel couldn't really become involved until the fight was over, and then Darkwings took so much damage from Palafox during that.
Yeah, it was a great shockwave from Palafox to kind of set up that initial burst damage. Now it's the grub started up by Dignitas. Palafox over the wall. eXyu will get 2. And Flagon drags out straight into Darkwings, who he can't follow up, but in comes HamBak. eXyu just has nowhere to escape to, and will go down for a 4th time this game. Got 2 of the grubs, Sentinels will pick up the third, but Sentinels still up in gold, still up in kills, 8-2.
Yeah, nice collapse there by Sentinels. I'm pretty sure that Dignitas is just not allowed to do that. You can't just go straight from Drake into a fight, into running straight to the grub. So I think they were really trying to cheat the tempo right there, and they get caught by Sentinels. HamBak really off to the races now. eXyu, 4 deaths, still no Sundered Sky, and HamBak is chilling.
Palafox right now trying to catch his mid-wave as huhi's hovering around. Palafox is now the one with the gold lead on Dignitas' side, but not by much as DARKWINGS will get 1 plate mid. Across the board, it is still Sentinels with leads, and HamBak the big one. 4-0-3, almost 100% kill participation right now on the Nafiri, and he is just completely smacking eXyu anytime they meet each other in the jungle, whether it's at the Dragon, whether it's at the Grubs. HamBak is getting fed.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a 90% win rate on Skarner throughout the year. It seemed like it was a bit of a Skarner one trick, so it's got to be promising for Sentinels to see him here on the Nafiri. He's got 3 Nafiri games on the year, only 1 win, but he's looking very comfortable on it in this game.
Well, 90%, does that mean he's 9-1?
On Skarner.
Wow.
Yeah, his Skarner's insane.
In Fearless, he got 10 games of Skarner.
Yeah, and they were like 7-1 on Caitlyn as well, so the Caitlyn pick away is pretty good.
DARKWINGS goes for the 1v1 against Palafox, but eXyu was waiting. DARKWINGS steals away the shockwave, but will die to eXyu. Ooh. As Dignitas get another kill on the board. Bot lane could be in trouble for them. FBI and IgNar low on health. Looks like HamBak and huhi attempted a dive, but did not pull it off.
With DARKWINGS down, though, there's got to be a bit of a timer. eXyu's going to be able to come over, and Palafox has been in fog.
He's on vision. HamBak and huhi see him, so they know that the J4 is there. As now they'll turn back onto him, but it looks like he'll be fine. huhi flashes the wall, misses the dredge line. eXyu throws up the angry monkey and walks away as he actually walks back towards them, thinking that they can pincer onto HamBak, but on pursuit over the wall, HamBak's fine.
Really interesting sequence right there as DARKWINGS teleports back. Palafox was shadowing, hasn't reset yet. And Sentinel's really trying to just keep their presence in this jungle.
Yeah. huhi and HamBak are walking between the turrets in the mid lane here as the wave crashes in. So they're just giving DARKWINGS so much priority right now to get more and more plates, get the Sylas more gold, and try and catch back up to this Orianna.
Impact kind of getting a little bit out of hand in this top lane on Ksante. Plated steel caps completed. They catch HamBak though, or they're able to defend their Krugs well. So HamBak actually lost a lot of his experience lead in this last little bit. Yeah. Doing all this crossing. He probably spent about a minute not farming. Still hasn't based yet, so he's going to have to clear those camps and recover his tempo a bit.
He basically went from that bot jungle invade to through the turrets up to the top camps, didn't get them, and then has to walk away. Now back to his camps. He's got his top side up to clear.
Yeah, he's already sitting on 1,200 gold, so a lot of times that whole sequence, you would literally just go back to base and buy and then redeploy to your jungle. So you can see him right now, even though his camps are up, he's just going back to base because there's too much gold in inventory, and he needs to put that to use.
As all the lanes currently have prio for Sentinel's side. Mid lane's pushing out. DARKWINGS on the bottom lane, getting some more gold for himself. Impact went for the reset, so maybe, rather Palafox on the top lane will be able to get a wave in, but not going too fast on it. Dragon's up in 15, and already Impact is walking down towards the objective. Going to save that TP to maybe get back to lane instead.
Yeah, absolutely. Palafox has stabilized that lane pretty well. He's mostly just stayed in the lane, aside from the Drake, which has allowed him to get small advantages anytime DARKWINGS ends up going for a roam. And now we see he's just farming plate gold in the top lane, and it looks like Dignitas is going to concede that Drake.
Yeah, this is Dignitas straight up conceding because they don't have TP on Palafox. He would have had to walk down much earlier. Impact actually diverted his course. He started off walking to Dragon and said, you know what, we can just walk top. I don't think that they're going to contest, and they did not. So Sentinels now get a Dragon, and they're able to get another wave for Impact top lane. It's tied Dragons 1-1 right now, but a 1.8k gold lead for Sentinels overall as Denathor getting engaged by huhi. DARKWINGS did not have quite enough damage as the Sylas, so Denathor will live in the bottom lane.
Flashed away.
Yep.
Well done by Denathor right here. Ooh, FBI takes a lot of damage from Rahel. The Ezreal in the mid lane with the Trinity Force power spike can be very difficult to deal with.
Would you say, Jatt, that FBI is playing nervous on the Caitlyn?
I haven't noticed anything.
Yeah?
Although, I don't know, it is a little nervous if I just go back to the early game play to have no barrier, no heal, and then still try and like make a play. It almost makes you a little desperate.
True.
Because you're not willing to accept that things haven't gone well.
As we want to give a quick reminder here, the LCS Championship is going to Gas South Arena in Atlanta, and tickets are available. Scan the QR code on your screen, get your tickets, come say hi. We had mullets for Spring Split. What are we doing for the Gas South Arena?
Gas. We're bringing the gas.
We're going to bathe.
I don't know.
Just pour it on us.
We need to figure out.
We'll do something with gas. There we go. That's actually, you know, I realize there's another type of gas we could lean into, but
I'm not mentioning it. I just said gas.
Then we have to bring Raz along.
You're the one who made it something bad.
Well, I feel like, I just watched Dune.
We're bringing the gas. All gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the type of gas we're bringing.
In the South. There we go. Atlanta, Georgia. Make sure to get your tickets. I plan to be there. You going to be there, Jatt?
I hope so.
Hope you're there. Hope to see you, buddy. Dignitas right now, the nervous AD carry, has a backup in the mid lane here. ignar's hovering around the Caitlyn. eXyu's in the top line brush with the control ward, so unspotted, but Sentinels are not going to give them an opportunity to engage. Instead, they are just happy to farm it out. 3 minutes for the Dragon. Herald is now on the Rift, so maybe that's where we look at action, but it's actually top lane. Denathor getting some damage on Impact as a teleport comes in from Palafox, but Impact just walks it out. So Dignitas teleport in Palafox essentially for a 5-man play at the Herald. Yeah,
they should be able to get this unless DARKWINGS wants to make a fight here. He can teleport in if he'd like to. So it's really on Sentinels if they're choosing to do something because they traded up hugely already. They got 2 turrets for this.
I think it's fine for them to not go for it. DARKWINGS gets the bottom turret. HamBak was hovering maybe to look for a smite steal, does not get it. So Dignitas secure the Herald, but will give up a turret for it.
Yeah, I mean, look at those lanes already in mid and bot. That's too much that Dignitas sacrificed for that. I really don't like the play to 5-man the Herald. And now
double turns.
Everyone resets and Palafox sticks around.
Sentinels are now making the play on to Palafox in the top lane. He's got the backup of ignar here to keep him safe. The shields from Orianna and Karma. Now the re-engage on to huhi. Palafox with a kill. eXyu Cataclysm on the HamBak, who's trying to escape. They went between the turrets. Might have been unwise. All out from Impact to carry eXyu to the waiting arms of his mid laner. eXyu will live. Barely gets out, so Dignitas actually defend the play.
Pretty nice by Palafox. Gigabrain Palafaker at the moment. Roa build into the Archangel's build, so he's going to be very tanky here. That plus the Karma Shields is making it really difficult for Sentinels to actually finish off any of these kills, and the fight continues.
Yeah, the Herald went down, did not get the turret, and now DARKWINGS looks for the play up here with the help of HamBak jumping in onto Denathor, but again, the Karma Shields. Too much for right now. Dignitas get their top laner and support out of there, but the crucial thing is the Herald was used, did not get a full turret.
True.
Only got the plates, 1 plate remaining in that top lane, as I imagine Sentinels will now get their 3rd turret of the game.
Yeah, and there's still a 3,000 gold lead for Sentinels in this game, so they're still fairly comfortably far ahead. Rahel still working on completing his Manamune into a Muramana, and Impact is still going to be extremely difficult to kill because the only one who can really do damage to him is Palafox, and Palafox is going to want to use his damage elsewhere.
And he's also, like you highlighted, going for a tankier build. This is not the one-shot big burst Orianna build. This is the survive the Nafiri, survive the Sylas that are going to be jumping on top of you build. Impact's going to be nigh unkillable in this game. So count your lucky stars. If you're able to take him out from Dignitas' side, they're going to have to find some magic to make that happen because Denathor was not able to get that incremental lead you were talking about. When you looked at Jayce versus Ksante, it was about these slow advantages you can get, but Impact solo killed him and has now been kind of running away with the rest of the laning phase.
Yeah, he's gone Black Cleaver first at least to give his team somewhat of a chance. If he can shred the armor a bit from the Ksante, then maybe FBI will be able to just pepper him down with a little BB gun he's got.
Little pepper.
Little tap, tap, tap.
I wonder where that phrase even comes from. Pepper and something?
Pepper and something?
Yeah. Is it like you'd put a dash of pepper in like a recipe? Maybe that's what it is. We'll Google it later.
Yeah. I
Dragon setup.
know if I've heard
say
that.
on this? Yeah, right?
I must have heard it.
Phrases just come from places, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Sentinels are on the Dragon right now. Dignitas will get a top turret. That is one picked up for them now, and some gold in Denathor's pocket. But the 2nd Dragon for Sentinels, as they will now lead 2-1 in the Dragon count here.
I do really enjoy casting with you because we do come from slightly different eras. So there's sometimes there's this huge knowledge gap of culture.
But this is one that we can relate to. Neither of us have the answer. I was relying on you and your wise elder
But you're
knowledge.
the one who'd heard it.
Well, have you never heard the phrase pepper?
I probably have, but it does not ring any bells.
Yeah, I know the phrase salt and pepper is where you got you got a little gray hair in your hair, or in my case, beard. Which I think I actually have more than you do. Do you use any product?
On my beard?
You can admit it.
Use a razor.
No, well, I meant the hair, but it's okay.
No, I do not dye my hair.
Yes, reaching for something there. Yes, there we go. That's a big one. 3K gold lead for Sentinels as I think we're just kind of waiting for the next objective to come up. Neither of these teams have really been going for creative engages. That's the way I'll phrase it there. Some teams like to say, hey, let's just make action happen and try and invade and take away these camps and then go for the turrets. Nah, these teams have been kind of waiting around for the Dragon, for the Herald, for these more standard objectives to dictate when they're going to go in.
For sure, but Dignitas does need to make this a long game now if they want a chance. They need to scale up so FBI can become a big carry, just with how badly the early game did go for them. So it is on Sentinels to accelerate this game, and they haven't done a great job of it, but they're still slowly stacking the Drakes, and that's why they're waiting. The Baron could be something they start forcing, although their Baron damage isn't particularly fast either.
Yeah.
They'd be looking for picks.
I will say that was a moment I thought maybe I provoked something to happen, because HamBak went for the little Raptor steal look, defended by Palafox and eXyu, but still at least was trying. And that's kind of the thing that you can go for with comps like this, is try and go for these invades. We saw HamBak and huhi already attempt that earlier in the game. Would not be surprised if that's kind of where they look for until that next Dragon comes up, because like you highlighted, they don't have that Baron damage, right? It's not like they can just burst this thing down if ever Dignitas are on the wrong side of the rift. So instead, just get huhi to link up with HamBak. As what was it, Emily? Her way too early prediction, the hot take, was that they would be a top 2 jungle support.
The best.
Oh, the best.
Emily's hot take is that huhi and HamBak will be the best jungle support
by the end of the summer split.
By the end of the split.
So I assume regular season, because these were regular season hot takes.
Regular season predictions.
Because otherwise we wouldn't be able to do the payoff of the bet afterwards. HamBak going for another invade now on the bottom jungle. Flash forward from Impact onto Palafox. All in onto the Orianna, but he flashes back to safety as huhi trying to block the approach from the rest of Dignitas. TP completed from Denathor. A little late to making a big impact as Impact's able to walk away. Sentinels get out. No pick for them, but also not losing a man. They'll get teleport out of Denathor.
Yeah, Palafox doing a lot of work here. Still deathless, and they've made a lot of plays trying to kill him, so he's definitely playing aggressively on these lanes. And Sentinels is going for the plays on him, but they've just been unable to get the executes, and it's part of it is that tankier Orianna build. He's already
more
gone.
action potentially on the bottom side here as huhi has the depth charge, going to flash forward to land it onto Denathor. DARKWINGS trying to reposition, cannot get the chains. Denathor is fine. DARKWINGS in trouble as eXyu's trying to chase away Rahel and HamBak on the side, so that's Palafox on a killing spree. HamBak will eventually take down eXyu as FBI's in some trouble. Found Impact in the Dragon Pit. Double kill over to Palafox. Impact's all alone. Dignitas are finding a play in their favor as Impact will get shut down by the AD carry. Nervous on the Caitlyn. That's 3 for Dig.
You could see Golden Glue kind of wondering, how did that happen? As he's going back through this. There are 2 different fights that are happening. huhi and DARKWINGS are trying to fight over in the top side as a teleport comes in from Palafox to really turn that 3v2. But more importantly, like, eXyu lasts for so long in here, and FBI, you feel like he's going to be completely dead in this fight before the shields come over from the other side of the fight that Dignitas has won. Flash, heal, shield from IgNar's Karma into Palafox, also being able to add shielding, and they got the kill.
Kill him. Nice.
Nice, exactly. Well done, IgNar. All the shields coming through, and even that initial play, huhi flashing the wall to try and get onto Denathor. When there's a Karma right there, that's a bold play. Even if you are able to land the abscond duct from DARKWINGS, I think that's kind of tough. So I got to say, okay, what's going on here? What are we doing?
Spring split takes.
We're still running this one.
Shopify.
We're still old news. This is old news, Jatt. We got a new take.
What's your
new take? This is the summer take. This is the Palafox summer, baby. Look at that. 4-0-2. I believe. Call it a feeling. Call it an inclination. I think Palafox is going to have a glow up this summer. He looked much better in Spring Split from his lock-in debut and much better from last year. So I'm excited for this player, NA mid laner. We don't have many left in the league, but he's showing that he has been improving over the last couple of splits.
That's incredible foresight by you, Kangas, to be ready with that for this game.
That was a graphic I requested before he went 4-0.
Yeah, it's not like they could have made that live. Those things take a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly. I asked for LCS resources to make that.
Did you cash or curse him at this moment, though? Because this is a very important Dragon fight for Dignitas. They're still down in gold, even though they seem to be coming back in the game.
They don't have to go for this. They could give it up.
Very hard
only
for them
the
to
third
walk
Dragon for Sentinels.
Very hard.
Kind of locked down here. Spent a lot of time around that bottom line brush, and the team already walked away, but now we got back to safety. Impact and huhi were not fully committed to keeping eXyu in place, and instead it will just be the dragon taken by HamBak. Dignitas did not find an angle in, and they didn't even get the mid wave into this mid turret. As now huhi engages in onto FBI. Impact's trying to get on top of him as well, but huhi actually goes out first. FBI is fine. HamBak will eventually dive through and take down the AD carry as Denathor will fall as well. HamBak and DARKWINGS stepping up when Sentinels needed to get onto the crucial carries. They'll find two.
And Sentinels just decide to full send through everyone on Dignitas right there. eXyu had avoided a few of the initial engages, and then a massive fight just breaks out. I think that's how they need to be able to play these fights, is just go straight through to Caitlyn rather than trying to kill this really tanky Orianna, who is going to be building a Zonias as well. Nicely played there by Sentinels.
Let's take another look at that engage, because it looks rough for FBI at first.
Yeah, I mean, nice hook there by huhi straight onto FBI. That allows him to pick up that first kill as everyone just chases through onto him. And then Denathor ends up just being the unfortunate recipient of the reset Nafiri ultimate, so they get the 2-for-1.
Call to packs, a great ability for HamBak to be able to dive past all of the other champions, get straight onto FBI, who almost got out of the initial engage.
Okay.
Now Baron started up here by Sentinels. eXyu will spot it out with the flag over the wall. Rest of Dignitas approaching from the top jungle here, but they're taking their time. Baron down to 3/4 health, but again, it does not go down quickly against the Sentinels composition. So FBI have some time, Dignitas some time to get their AD carry into
risky.
position.
I mean, they're getting the mid push right now, so I'd imagine they're thinking of pulling off of this.
Ace and Ult will just be used onto DARKWINGS to poke him out a little bit. Palafox will catch this wave. Impact's keeping it leashed for now, but will back off. Sentinels do not commit to the Baron, and instead Dignitas will have an opportunity now to try and catch these waves.
It's pretty interesting the type of game that eXyu is having right now, because he's definitely died a lot falling behind, but he's going to have Death Stance GA and then also Orianna and Karma Shield, so he's going to end up being like a decently tanky engager for a while. He still feels like he's having impact in these fights, even though he's so far behind in the game.
Currently, though, I think that Dragon's going to be where we see the kind of game made or broken for either one of these
This soul fight,
If Sentinels can get the soul, that's pretty big for them. Their Ksante will just be straight up unkillable at that point with Chemtech soul. Whereas Dignitas still got a bigger hill to climb, even if they're able to take that and deny the soul from Sentinels, because they'll need to pick up a few more, but at least buys them some of that time.
Yeah, FBI hitting that 3-item power spike as well is going to be pretty important.
Interesting that he went for the rapid fire instead of something like LDR to try and get through impact early.
Yeah.
I don't know if I love that.
No, that is true.
I mean, yeah, you're going to be able to do a lot more damage to HamBak, to DARKWINGS. Maybe that's the goal here.
RFC is one of these items where in almost every situation, the stat efficiency of the item is just worse than pretty much every other Zeal upgrade, but there's just, you cannot fight the feeling of not being able to hit.
Sure.
And you just want that extra little bit of range so that you're able to do something.
It is dopamine.
Otherwise, it feels like you're never able to enter the fight.
When you get that extra range headshot, ooh, that's great. But let's see if it bites him. Because, again, you're able to get more damage, more poke onto things like DARKWINGS and HamBak before the fights, but it means you'll be doing less damage to Impact, who has currently been kind of the brick wall for Sentinels as Dignitas look to engage onto HamBak here. They use the Cataclysm in the top river. Flash out from HamBak. He was all alone and is now down a summoner.
Yeah, bunch of ultimates expended there by Dignitas on that attempt onto HamBak, but getting the flash. And on the 700 gold bountied jungler, could be important later.
Those ults will be back before the Dragon Soul fight. That flash will not be back by the Dragon Soul fight. So you could argue Dignitas are in a better position, but Sentinels have a window now.
But will they be back before this Baron is dead?
They can go straight for the Baron, because that's 3 ults down. They will not be back for the Baron fight. So this is a huge opportunity for Sentinels. Dignitas, if they want to contest, they will have Karma and Jayce. Those aren't even ultimates.
They're peeling for a fight.
Now the Baron's down to 3K. They're just trying to deny the entrance, but it's stolen! eXyu's able to get into the pit and take it for Dignitas. Impact was over the wall, and he almost goes down. Still alive for now. Sentinels now looking for the team fight win since they didn't get the objective. Double kill to DARKWINGS. HamBak continues to chase.
Is in there.
HamBak is godlike as he will take down IgNar. It's just Palafox alive under the tier 2 top turret. Will flash with a shockwave. What a shutdown play for the mid laner of Dignitas.
Palafaker, the only one keeping Dignitas in this game. Nice steal by eXyu, but then everyone else loses the Baron buff outside of Palafox. And crucially, I think these death timers that we have with the spawn of this Chem Soul is going to allow the Soul to go over to Sentinels. Watch this one more time.
Let's see how he steals this.
I mean, I believe Sentinels just fly over the wall, and then eXyu just flies in, I think. Unless...
So he flag and drags over.
He just flash smites.
Flash, yeah.
Yeah, flash smite.
69
smite
health.
auto.
Nice auto.
Yeah, it's the smite auto from 1460. But then the fight is a wash because, as we talked about, no ultimates, right? No Jarvan ult, no Orianna ult, no Caitlyn, flash, or barrier by the end of this fight. You're not going to have those, and the Chem Soul is in the hands of Sentinel. So despite the steal, Baron isn't what he used to be.
No.
Doesn't give you that much gold. You can see Baron power play is currently sitting negative 682. That includes the gold given by the Baron, so advantage Sentinels.
And also, even though Palafox had a really fancy-looking kill there at the end, there's just one kill, and he's the only one with Baron. So Denathor is able to get that bottom turret, the outer turret, even without the Baron. But currently, it's really just Palafox holding it down for Dignitas. Sentinels with the Dragon Soul and priority in mid lane and now top lane here. Going to keep the pressure on to Dig. The nice thing is with that Baron, it really denies one of the bigger win conditions for Sentinels. Because like you said, yes, Baron's not what he used to be. But if you have the Elder or the Dragon Soul with the Baron, you can go for the turret dives. You can push the waves in and then really try and force the end of the game. Now that they don't have that Baron and game win condition, I think that this game could go on a little bit longer. Like I don't see a clear avenue for Sentinels to just end the game despite getting the Dragon Soul. Then my next question for you, Jatt, is who does that favor? Is it Sentinels that are happy for a long game to keep scaling up, or do you think that there's an avenue that Dignitas can hit some big item power spikes and actually find a way back in?
Oh, I do think that if the game goes to like 50 minutes, I'm going to want the 7-item Caitlyn.
Okay.
Just in general with the shielding that they have, but I still think just with the Chem Soul and the engage options that Sentinels have, and the fact that Dignitas is going to have to expose themselves to go for Elder, that does still favor Sentinels based on the current game state.
Ooh, Shockwave in the mid lane
Unless
on huhi. Damage onto the Nautilus. They're trying to full send, but he's able to dredge line back to that mid turret and gets out of there. That's one ultimate down. As now HamBak looks for the re-engage onto FBI. Big chunk of damage. As the flash bar from huhi will continue the engage. huhi goes down, but he bought the space for the team. FBI stays alive for quite a while, but Rahel with the double kill is unleashed. eXyu goes back in. Denathor trying to get the damage in. They got the AD carry. As it's just the mid laner and top laner left for Sentinels versus Dignitas with Denathor and eXyu. Now, DARKWINGS looking for the Protobell engage, are not going to find it, but essentially a 3-for-3 trade in what looks like a great start for Sentinels.
Yeah, the start of that fight made me think the game was going to be over. But then the late turn by Denathor arriving to kill FBI, I'm going to have to see again because Palafox ended up kind of taking a bunch of time at the end of this fight. But okay, the way it started is just FBI getting a little too far up, right? They're able to get a big engage onto him and chunk him completely out. Hook lands onto IgNar, but then let's watch how Rahel ends up dying. So tons of time bought over by Palafox, but now my eyes are on Rahel here in the mid lane. Just gets hit by the EQ and the Jayce walking up and auto-attacking him. Big 1,000 gold bounty over to Denathor on the back end of that fight.
The traps should Shiva.
The traps were good there, I bet.
Traps, yeah. You're saying he was nervous about it. The trap placement's looking a little funky. But hey, he stayed alive for quite a while. That's twice now that huhi's gone in for a dredge line and not used the depth charge on FBI. It happened in the mid lane. He instead uses it onto the clump. That time he used it onto Palafox, and then FBI got like 4 more autos off there as a invade happens from HamBak. He's actually able to, I believe, smite that away. Yeah, he's able to take away the red buff. But I just like to highlight that because in the moments like that, yeah, you get the big value from like going for the Fed member, but maybe if you just ult FBI, you are able to just smash that team fight and then close it out right there. But it's all what ifs. Currently, it is Sentinels still pushing in the waves as they're trying to pepper down this top tier 2.
Yeah, a couple of death caps completed for both mid laners, so Palafox and DARKWINGS are really going to be bringing some pain. I mean, did get some chunk damage onto Impact, but he's very tanky.
Yeah, that guy's so tanky right now, and he's already built a little bit of magic resist as well. So Palafox won't even be doing as much. Speaking of, he's at 4 items completed. He died earlier, so he's no longer at the 10 seals, or 10 stacks rather, on the Dark Seal.
Yep.
Only at the 5. Could get some more back here, but essentially has 4.5 items under his belt, just worth of stats.
Yeah, probably going either Void Staff or Crypt Bloom at the end of his build, but we'll have to see what he does. Currently sitting on 642 AP and level 18, so hard to get much stronger if you're Palafox.
Also, LDR now completed on FBI. There we go. He's got that
ready to go.
Armor penetration now for impact as HamBak, yet again, the one focused on. Anytime he's far forward, Dignitas trying to engage, but it's so hard to actually lock down a Nafiri. Nigh impossible. Impact found a really big flank here. If he's able to get onto FBI, the AD here could be in trouble. He flashes away, and now he's doing damage! Shut down onto Impact!
That's huge!
4-item Caitlyn is doing it as eXyu finds the engage onto Rahel. The shockwave is enough. Rahel just barely living, is able to kite it back. Rahel is still alive! FBI takes down DARKWINGS regardless. Sentinels get the ready to carry out, but they will lose their mid laner. HamBak will take down Denathor. But that is a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Dignitas.
The timing on the Jarvan EQ flash with the Orianna shockwave was perfect there. Let's see if they're able to capitalize off of it, though, because Denathor died, and Impact will be able to TP back in 20 seconds for
Baron's
the Elder, so
4K.
Baron's probably gone.
Yeah, Baron's going to be gone. HamBak's not even going to go for the attempt.
But if they hold them off, that means they're going to be able to get Elder, which would just make the game longer and longer. Yeah, everyone should be able to make it back. Super interesting, though. Teleport coming in on the bot side. Looks like they're going to want to contest this.
Yeah, I think so. They will have the shockwave back. They will not have Cataclysm for eXyu. But Palafox, watch this Orianna. 4 items completed. They're trying to get in there. The teleport's coming in for impact now. Sentinels have huhi.
He's in the wrong spot.
Trying to buy time. Huhi's going to go down. That is confirmed. Dignitas now have a 5v4 contest. Elder Dragon still at 7,300 as Impact's just trying to buy space. HamBak will now look for the engages. Palafox goes into the stasis. No one's actually looking at him. He got the shockwave off! Palafox, massive damage with the shutdown onto HamBak as the wheels fall off for Sentinels. Disaster for the boys in red. Dignitas get the ace.
In a 39-kill banger, it looks like Dignitas come from behind. They were down 4,000 gold in the early game, Kangas.
Incredible team fight there at the end. Palafox looked like he was dead to rights. He was in stasis in the middle of everybody from Sentinels, but they just lost track of the fed Orianna and completely ignored him out of the stasis. He gets the shockwave. Dignitas get the team fight. They don't need the Elder Dragon. They already had the Baron. They're just gonna barrel it down the bot lane here. 4 members strong. Huhi's trying his best, but he will not be enough. Dignitas showing up with a win in Game 1 of Summer.
Is it, in fact, Palafox Summer? 8-1-9-11, a 95% kill participation on the Orianna for Palafox.
I have never felt more validated for a graphic request in my life. Palafox hard carrying that game. The one with the gold lead throughout and the one to clutch the shockwave at the end.
Palafox is my player of the game. I only have one question for the lounge. Is it or is it not Palafox Summer?
It's obviously Palafox
very
Summer.
Clearly, as we have seen in this game.
Yes, exactly. In this game, honestly, he got to the point, they already called out his build, but he basically got to the point where he was so tanky. If Sentinels are deciding to dive on him, he just lives for so long. And then he was landing some really crucial shockwaves once this game really devolved into this kind of slugfest back and forth team fighting.
And I mean, you can see them walking down the hallway, they're laughing.